Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 102nd Convocation of the University of Waterloo. 102nd Convocation. Now, as all of you know, the University of Waterloo has a great reputation for being an entrepreneurial university. A spirit of innovation and creative thinking permeates this university. It reminds me of the story of a man that walks into the New York City bank branch, and says he wants to borrow $2,000 for 3 weeks. The loans officer asks him, "What type of collateral do you have for $2,000? And he says, "I've got a Rolls Royce. I'll keep it until the loan is paid off. And here are the keys." The bank manager checks to make sure he owns the Rolls Royce. It's fine. After the check, he takes the keys, and he drives the Rolls Royce into the bank's underground parking for safekeeping and gives the man $2,000. 3 weeks later, the man comes back, pays back the $2,000 loan and $10 interest, and he regains possession of the Rolls Royce. So the loan officer says, "Sir, I've got to ask you a question. The man who has a Rolls Royce, why would you borrow $2,000 for 3 weeks?" The man says, "I had to go to Europe for 3 weeks. Where else could I store a Rolls Royce in New York for $10? Creative thinking. Here at Waterloo, each convocation is a celebration of the achievements of the graduates. And this morning we celebrate those graduates in the arts faculty. On behalf of the Board of Governors and the Senate of the University, I'd like to express congratulations and best wishes to all of you who will graduate this morning. Please savor every minute of today's ceremony and the celebrations that will follow within your circle of family and friends. Today is a rite of passage to an exciting future where you can apply your knowledge, share your expertise, and continuous learning. I also welcome the families of the graduates and their guests. Today is a tangible demonstration of your support and commitment to their success. We will begin with the conferring of honorary degrees and titles on individuals who have distinguished themselves in the academy. We will then confer bachelor's, master's, and doctor's degrees. Finally, medals will be awarded to graduating students who've excelled in their studies. The proceedings will take less than 2 hours, and we ask that you remain in your places until the convocation is adjourned and the academic procession has left the convocation hall. The ceremony blends certain age-old university rites and protocols with a spirit of informality which characterizes Waterloo. We trust that it will be an occasion to enjoy and an occasion to remember. Now, graduates, I offer you my congratulations as you move on from Waterloo. I challenge you, take risks, be unconventional, but do not forget that honesty, integrity, and the strength of character should be the driving force in all that you do. As an aside, when I was your age, I was introduced to a book by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich was the title, and it's a wonderful book of success stories on businessmen, doctors, politicians, scientists, and others. And the book analyzed the principles behind their success and explained it in very simple terms, finally concluding with this line: "What the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. What the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve." So one day, when finally you've made your mark in the world, make sure that you give back to others less fortunate. After all, every one of you have benefited from others who have helped you shape your careers. So now let me end with a Chinese proverb. The proverb goes something like this: if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, go help somebody. So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you, and the convocation will now begin. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I present Dr. Robert Curtin. Robert Curtin is a highly regarded scholar and admired teacher who served the University of Waterloo with great distinction as the department head, associate dean, and dean of the Faculty of Arts. A man of great integrity and devotion, Dr. Curtin was dean during times of exceptional financial difficulty, working effectively to secure the resources needed to maintain the high standards of the Faculty of Arts. His good humor and dedication to students, staff, and faculty made him a much admired leader. Professor Curtin enjoyed a distinguished career as a scholar, publishing more than 40 papers, numerous reports for commissions and nonprofit organizations, and earning an international reputation for his work on consumer rights, particularly in the finance field. He held visiting professorships in Switzerland, Malaysia, Holland, India, Norway, and the United States, and prominent positions on Canadian task forces and commissions of inquiry. He maintained a high public profile for his work and commentary on such diverse topics as the Competition Act, financial reform, and consumers' rights, and through his service in such roles as board chair of the North-South Institute and president of the American Council on Consumer Interests. Professor Curtin demonstrated unwavering commitment to the university, the region of Waterloo, and his country as a scholar, activist, administrator, and public intellectual, working to advance the rights of consumers and to achieve justice and fairness in the financial system. Mr. Chancellor, it is my great pleasure to ask that in recognition of his outstanding teaching, scholarship, and service to the University of Waterloo, that you bestow the title Distinguished Professor Emeritus upon Dr. Robert Curtin. Mr. Chancellor, I present Dr. Ann Zeller. Ann Zeller joined the Department of Anthropology at the University of Waterloo in 1982. During her 25 years at this university, she sat on dozens of committees, established an impressive teaching record, and served as department head from 1993 to 2007. She was a mentor and role model to many other female scholars and demonstrated leadership, intellectual rigor, and an impressive commitment to students, colleagues, and the institution as a whole. A physical anthropologist specializing in primatology, Professor Zeller's fieldwork attracted global attention. She pioneered the use of film in the study of primates. Her work has been featured in universities around the world and attracted invitations to provide keynote addresses at leading international conferences. Her scholarship resulted in her election as president of the Society for Visual Anthropology, an organization and research field that she helped to found and to shape. Professor Zeller left an enduring impact on the university, the Faculty of Arts, and the department that she so dearly loved. She was a challenging and successful teacher and a mentor to many top anthropology graduates. She made many impressive contributions at the community level, where she was well known for her commitment to high academic standards, intellectual constituency, and innovation. She was, in every respect, the consummate faculty member and a devoted citizen of the University of Waterloo. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of her outstanding teaching, scholarship, and service, I request that you bestow the title Distinguished Professor Emerita upon Ann Zeller.
Mr. Chancellor, I present Lawrence Hill. Lawrence Hill is a Canadian writer with a unique body of work, encompassing contemporary novels and historical fiction, nonfiction, and autobiography, and a documentary film script. In the last 2 decades, Mr. Hill has become a formidable cultural force. His incisive and original writing has brought the experience of African Canadians and African Americans to the forefront, exploring themes often ignored in our literature. Mr. Hill's majestic 2007 novel, The Book of Negroes, is widely recognized not only as a brilliant work of fiction, but as a respectable piece of historical scholarship, offering a genuine and verifiable impression of life in pre-colonial Africa, the experience of enslavement in the New World, and the adventures of the Black Loyalists during the American Revolution, their migration to Nova Scotia, and ultimately to Sierra Leone. Like everything else he writes, the novel is infused with sensitivity, offering insights into the human condition and the complexity of every person's life. It has been honored with the Rogers Writers' Trust Fiction Prize, the Evergreen Award, and above all, the Commonwealth Writers' Prize, which occasioned a personal visit with the Queen. The Book of Negroes was selected for CBC Radio's Canada Reads and for Kitchener-Waterloo One Community, One Book celebration. In his gentle and persuasive manner, Mr. Hill has used the acclaim of his books to launch a national and international dialogue about race, equality rights, and cultural relations. His scope appropriately includes Africa and the work of Canadian Crossroads International. In his writing and public activities, he represents the spirit of justice, outreach, and engagement that we share at the University of Waterloo. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his contributions to our national literature and our mutual understanding as Canadians, I request that you confer the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, upon Lawrence Hill. I now invite Dr. Hill to address Convocation.
Mr. President, Mr. Chancellor, Dr. Coates, Dr. Walker, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this great honor. Let me begin by extending my congratulations to every person who's graduating today from the University of Waterloo. You've worked long and hard to reach this day, and it's wonderful that you've come to celebrate this moment. I wish you much luck on the personal, academic, and professional fronts. Before and just after my own graduation, some 30 years ago from Université Laval in Quebec City, I signed up with a charitable non-government organization called Canadian Crossroads International and spent 3 summers working as a volunteer in Niger, Cameroon, and Mali in West Africa. Crossroads had sent me with a group of French Canadians to take part in cultural exchanges that usually involved tree planting to hold back the advancing Sahara Desert. We worked alongside African people who ran and managed the projects. I lived, worked, ate, and laughed with young Africans and with African families, and was forever enriched. My experiences as a volunteer with Crossroads marked me forever and gave me a more vivid, realistic sense of daily life in those West African nations. I met people who lived with less than 1,000th of the material comforts that Canadians enjoy, but whose inner lives and outward expressions of joy, love, and community involvement were as rich as any that I'd seen anywhere and at any time. I met a midwife named Aminata who caught women's babies in a small mud brick shelter in a village with no electricity, running water, schools, or doctors, and with little more than her own hands and a broom for sweeping the hard earthen floor of her shelter. I was so struck by her life and what she did for African women that I named my eldest daughter after her. Years later, I also gave the name Aminata to the heroine of my novel, The Book of Negroes. Crossroads has been carrying out its volunteer missions now for over 50 years, and recently my wife Miranda Hill and I chose to set up a fund, the Aminata Fund, to encourage Canadians to give to Crossroads efforts to support girls and women in Africa. Whether it is in your own neighborhood, another part of Canada, or across the seas, the amazing thing about volunteerism is that it ends up giving you back as much as you give, and it expands your life exponentially. It is almost inconceivable that a Canadian of any age could cross the country or the ocean to work as a volunteer for a few weeks, months, or longer, and return home saying, "I wish I hadn't done that." On the contrary, volunteerism will open your eyes, awaken you abroad and in your own home, inspire you in unexpected ways, and offer you the opportunity to share your unique gifts with others. But you don't have to cross an ocean to make a major contribution. Dr. James Walker, a professor and chair of the Graduate Studies in the University of Waterloo History Department, has had a long career not only of writing books and teaching history, but of encouraging students and writers to explore their own academic and literary passions. Dr. Walker, or Jim as he is known to me, has been a friend for many years. Actually, he met my father, Daniel Hill, who then chaired the Ontario Human Rights Commission in 1973. Jim befriended my father and my mother, Donna Hill, who, like my dad, devoted many years of her life to advancing the cause of human rights in the United States and Canada. In 1977, Jim wrote a book that remains one of the most important and thoroughly documented accounts of the history of blacks in Canada. I was never one of Jim's students, but when I was a young man, I stole his book from my parents' personal library and never gave it back. But I devoured every page, and what a book it was. The book was called The Black Loyalists, The Search for the Promised Land in Nova Scotia and Sierra Leone, 1783 to 1870. I didn't know it at the time, but its influence on my writing and my life would be profound. Jim's book tells the story of the blacks who served the British on the losing side of the American Revolutionary War, and who later had their names entered into a British naval ledger known as the Book of Negroes, before being allowed to embark on the 9-day boat trip from Manhattan to Nova Scotia. Some 3,000 black loyalists joined the exodus from New York to Canada in 1783, forming the first massive wave of immigration of blacks into Canada. Jim's book provides great detail about the first 10 tumultuous years that the black loyalists spent in Nova Scotia, encountering many serious problems such as slavery, segregation, indentured servitude, land shortages, and an anti-black race riot. One of the most astonishing parts of the book alerted me to a migration of which I'd never heard. In 1792, 10 years after arriving in Nova Scotia, about 1,200 black loyalists were so disgruntled at their betrayals at the hands of the British that they accepted a voluntary offer to leave Canada and sail in a flotilla of 15 ships across the Atlantic Ocean to found the colony of Freetown in Sierra Leone on the coast of West Africa. Many of these so-called adventurers were not just passively traveling to Africa in search of freedom and autonomy. They had been born in Africa, stolen into slavery earlier in their lives, had found their way to freedom in Manhattan and in Nova Scotia, and were finally returning to Africa. This astonishing history lesson got me thinking about a novel that would germinate for years before finally coming out as the Book of Negroes. Jim read and advised me generously on drafts of the novel, although any faults or imperfections remain mine alone. He also advised me on other books I've written about the experience of people in the African diaspora, just as he has encouraged other young scholars and writers. He had no obligation to show us this generosity, apart from having been quite obviously infected with the same spirit of volunteerism and community giving that I witnessed with Canadian Crossroads International in Africa, and that he surely witnessed years earlier when he volunteered in India with CUSO. I don't think there's any way that I could return any of these favors to Jim, but I've tried to pass it on. to give to others as Jim has given to me. Perhaps that's something that could inspire you too. In the course of your studies, you've surely met professors, colleagues, and administrators who've assisted you. To honor their gifts, you too can pass them along in your own lives. Tomorrow, next month, or next year, somebody, somewhere, in Waterloo or Timbuktu, in Toronto or Tuktoyaktuk, could be uplifted by something that you have to give. When I traveled as a volunteer, I had no idea that it would revolutionize my own working life, or lead me to write books, or bring me in touch with readers, including people of African descent, around the world. Last month, I traveled to the Netherlands and Belgium to promote the new Dutch edition of the Book of Negroes. In Dutch, it's called Het Negerboek, a direct translation of the Canadian title. Just as Canada has its own history of slavery, the Netherlands has it too. While there, I visited the Middelburg Zeeland archives in the small town of Middelburg in the south of Holland. There I thumbed through the original records of slave ships run by the Middelburg Commercial Company. In the 18th and 19th centuries, that one company alone sold 270,000 Africans into slavery in the former Dutch colony of Suriname. While in Holland, I also had the experience of getting to know the country through the eyes of the Surinamese Dutch, who gathered to welcome me and to hear me speak in Amsterdam about the Book of Negroes. However, just 3 days ago, I received an email from a man in Amsterdam who says he plans to burn my novel on June 22nd near a famous monument to slavery and freedom in a park in Amsterdam. He and his followers are offended by the title of my book. Language that tries to describe people racially will always fail, because it is absurd to attempt to define a person racially. We all know how far racial terminology has traveled over the centuries as people seek more satisfactory terms on our own continent. I don't blame this man for disliking the title. He's entitled to his opinions, and he's entitled to be offended by the term. But I didn't use the term, the Book of Negroes, to offend or to be provocative. I used it to resurrect that long-forgotten document that Jim first made me aware of in his book. The actual Book of Negroes, a 228-year-old, 150-page document housed in the National Archives of the UK, connects the history of blacks in Africa, the United States, Canada, and the UK. It is a history that many have overlooked. Rather than flinching from it or turning our backs on our own painful stories, we should engage with our history. By studying it, discussing it, writing scholarly works about it, and dramatizing it, we stand on its shoulders, refute the restrictions it tried to place on us, and in the process, make ourselves better. Burning books is a gesture designed to intimidate and silence. The leaders of the Spanish Inquisition burned books. Nazis burned books. Unfortunately, book burnings and book bannings remain common to this day. A misguided pastor in Florida recently burned a copy of the Quran, despite arguments from President Obama and others not to engage in such an inflammatory act. Every year, books are banned or censored in Canada, too. Only a few years ago, some boards of education in the Toronto area chose to remove the book 3 Wishes, Palestinian and Israeli Children Speak, by the renowned Canadian children's author Deborah Ellis. So I guess I'm in good company. But as a writer and a Canadian, I oppose the burning and the censorship of books. We have no need to be afraid of the written word. We have only to engage with it, vehemently if you wish, but also civilly, and in ways that respect rather than diminishing our own humanity. Ultimately, as they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. Engaging as a volunteer and celebrating freedom of speech are fingers of the same hand. They both involve respect and are rooted in a desire to understand and befriend other people. As you move forward beyond today's graduation, here's to wishing you a lifetime of giving to others, of freedom to read, and of engagement with a pen as a civilizing and uplifting tool. Congratulations again on your accomplishments today. I hope we'll meet again.
Dr. Hill, on behalf of the University of Waterloo, I would like to thank you for sharing your experiences and giving inspiration to our graduates. Thank you. I would also like to congratulate Bob and Anne for receiving the title Distinguished Professor Emeritus and Emerita, respectively. And I also welcome Dr. Hill to the group of Waterloo's distinguished alumni. Thank you. Would members of the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I present those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities therein attached.
Alumni, you may take your seats. I would now like to invite King Ivy to come forward and deliver the valedictory address.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank family and friends that have come from far and wide to attend this celebration. And for those who could not attend, but are here with us in spirit. When times were tough, assignments and essays were a long all-nighter away, and it seemed like midterm season was longer than any Canadian winter, you never stopped pushing us forward and encouraging us to do our best. So on behalf of the graduating class, thank you. I would like to also thank our distinguished faculty and unparalleled staff members that have taken time from their busy schedule to rejoice in these proud moments with us. Please share in a moment of round of applause for them. Lastly, but most importantly, I would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2011. Three, 4, 5, 6, and for some, 7 years ago, we embarked on a journey here at the University of Waterloo. We have lived through many amazing experiences, have come from many different places, and have continually improved ourselves. But today, we can feel assured that we have left this university a better and more knowledgeable individual than when we arrived. Congratulations. Today, I would like to leave a brief but memorable message for all those in attendance. It is often argued whether life is about the destination or whether life is about the journey. As art students are known for their innovation and love of debating, I would like to argue that life is about leaving your own legacy. As many of us have experienced, our time here at the University of Waterloo has flown by faster than we could have ever expected. And recently speaking to my most favorite librarian, who's retiring later this year, I expect the rest of our lives to fly by just as fast. So what is a legacy and why is it important? A legacy is not about changing the world. It's about changing your world. It's about understanding the impact we can have on those around us through achieving our goals and doing our very best. Our past after today will be as diverse as the past that have led us here. Some of us will make changes in the political world, make breakthroughs in the financial markets, inspire others through our works of art, or teach a generation of tomorrow to be better and more knowledgeable than we are today. Whatever path you choose, do your best and understand the impact you can have on those around you. Over time, people will perhaps forget your name. They may forget the things that you've done for them, but they will never, I repeat, never, forget the way you made them feel and the impact you had on them. Next, I will discuss how to leave a legacy. Step 1 is defining your passion. What wakes you up in the morning? What is always on your mind? And what do you dream about? As art students, we each had the opportunity to pick a major that we are passionate about, but it is now time to take that passion to our post-University of Waterloo lives. A German philosopher, Helga, once said, "Nothing great in this world has ever been accomplished without passion." Passion is an important step, but it is only the first step. The next step is to work hard. It is said that you should work hard and chase your dreams. But I believe that you should work so hard that your dreams are actually chasing you. Be proud of what you have accomplished, but be more proud of what you will accomplish. I want everyone to take a moment to reflect back on their first year experience. And don't worry, you don't have to write an AFM reflection on this. I remember my very first time being alone on the University of Waterloo campus. It resulted in me being lost for 2 hours looking for my residence. Who knew that walking Ring Road for a certain period of time would eventually lead you to where you started? And if you repeated the process, you'd still be where you started. But eventually I learned my lesson, and I found my residence. Do you remember being scared and uncertain? I remember being uncertain if I could fit in and whether I'd make any friends. I remember being scared that I wasn't smart enough. I remember being uncertain that this was the right place for me. I remember being scared that this day would never come and that I didn't deserve to be here. But with every accomplishment, we became more confident, and eventually those accomplishments became expectations, and we faced bigger and better challenges, and the cycle repeated. One day, we'll not look back on this day as the proudest moment of our lives, but as a stepping stone for all the great things we will accomplish. And the final step is to have fun. Whatever path you choose, walk it proudly. Whatever career you choose, enjoy it as much as you can. That will lead you to the most success you can, and will allow you to leave a legacy that others will be proud to follow. I would like to close off the speech with a short poem that I wrote. We told ourselves whenever we were faced with a great challenge that the end was near. Study away, study hard, read every last page and word, and you'll have no fear. For every test we wrote, every paper we typed was a step in the right direction. Not wanting to lose a single point, we aimed for the most infamous mark, perfection. As we leave today, I challenge each and every one of you to never settle now. Wake up each morning, working towards your goals, and have people ask how. How do you do the things that you do? I've never met someone quite like you. And respond with that I work hard and have my dreams chase me. Passions drive your actions, and that is how you leave a legacy. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2011.
King, thank you very much for your, as you said, memorable but also inspiring words. I believe the members of your graduating class will remember these words for many years to come. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. We have formally acknowledged the achievements of our graduating students, and these achievements have been significant. Graduates, you work very hard. You spent many, many years, as was pointed out, for some 3, 4, 5, I'm not going to go beyond that. Years here, you spend a good chunk of your life on this campus. You were put through a number of tests, many, many challenges, and you rose up to those challenges. You have succeeded. The proof is here because you are here today. For many of you, however, it would have been a lot harder had it not been for the support of, fantastic support of everybody who is here to see you graduating. Many parents, spouses, partners, brothers, sisters, friends have given you tremendous amount of support to get you through your studies. But most of all, they believed in you. They knew that you were going to be very successful. There were times that you didn't know whether you were going to be successful in a particular exam. When you grabbed the phone, there was somebody else on the other side, made sure that you were ready for that exam. And there were times that you didn't know if you would have enough money for even to buy a sandwich, and then somehow the funds appeared from somewhere. So, parents, spouses, family members, friends, supporters, be proud of the achievement of our students. They are here today because you've given them tremendous amount of support. And some of you came from long distance to take part in today's convocation ceremony. But some of you were not able to be here. Some parents, because of various reasons, are not here today, but we feel their presence. So, would the families, friends, spouses, partners, would you please rise? Members of the graduating class, would you please join me in acknowledging the tremendous support that I've given you over the years? Thank you. I guess we could be doing this all morning, but we have to get on with the ceremony. I'm just going to briefly remind you of two very simple house rules. First one is about taking photographs. I'm sure many of you will like to take photographs as your student is coming through the stage. On the right side of on my right side, here is the area that you could come and take pictures, but you can't get in here directly. You have to go behind the stage and then walk through and come here. And please make sure that as soon as you took pictures, go back to your seat, because there will be a lot of people behind you wanting to do the same thing. And the graduates, would you please come back to your seats? And if it's possible at all, remain silent while the other students are being acknowledged and hooted. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I'm pleased to introduce graduates of the Bachelor of Accounting and Financial Management Honors Program. Akua Dankwa Akmiapong, Kimberly Aitken, Badia Ajmal. Jia Wai Ao, Joanne Bach, Lisen Bai. Boris Bernstein, Gurnet Bhatti, Kelvin Chan. Mankit Chan, Matthew Chan, Sarah Chow. Shania Chawla, Keizen Chen, Lu Chen. Si Chen, Tracy Chen, Chek Hee Cheng. Li Wan Lisa Cheng, Iris Ho Yi Cheng, Matthew Lokbong Cheng. Kyla Brianne Childs, Lori Christy Chin Sui, Madeline Wan K. Chiu. Irvin Han Pin Cho, Martin Chu, Emily Chow. Siu Yan Chow, Kathy Grace Lee Liuk Hin, Chu Cheng, Jane Chung Tai. Jing Xu, Thomas Fu, Katie Yuen Ki Feng. Myrna Jurgis, Zhou Thi Ka, Grewal, Xin Yu Ju. Ye Han, William Charles Joseph Hillock, Christian Hariko. King E. King is also the recipient of the President's Circle Award for Leadership. Julie Yunin, Ismat Jahan, Benjamin Dean Jatsi. Hui Jing Zhang, Zhenya Khan, Benjamin Kwok. Man Nguyen Kwok, Flora Kwong, Jeremy Lai. Grace Kwan Sin Lam, Linda Lam, Wilson Wing Chi Lam. Amanda Lan, Eric Lau, Jessica K. Lau. Hoi Yan Millie Law, Christine Erica Leung, Jessica Man Suen Leung. Mei Shuk Kwan Leung, Brian Lee Yen Pin, Jaya Jin Liang. Kevin Liu, Matthew Lowe, Eric Luke Loiser. Alice Liu, Kaylee Liu, Grace Lee. Stephen Lee, Andrew Ian McDonald, Miguel Roberto Mangligot. Todd William McEachran. Todd is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Reward for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Accounting and Financial Management. Tara Mathanda, Jonathan McMurridge, Pratik Mehta. Andrea Mendokana, Jung Young Moon, Salim Muzaffar. Essence Ning, Patrick Marie Ramzam Ning, Carol Ganan. Sim Okay, Maya Osman, Sonyan Park. Radhika Patel, Lisa Asnath Poniai, Raghu Ranjamanthan. Rhea Albina Rasquinha, Larissa Rocher, Lisa Ann Ryerson. Milan Shah, Vasanti Singh, Alexander Stanley. Hubert Ryan C., Allison Victoria Seto, Alexander Tan. Nirthuya Tangaraja, Michelle Thee, Helen Tran. Matthew Man Kin Sang, Jennifer So, Robert Lewis Tutins. Nadia Juliet Varaya, Bo Wang, Jason Wang. Yi Wang, Carmen Kayan Wong, John Wong. Nerian Wong, Nancy, Tian Li Si. Serena Xuan Yang, Vienna Yao, Andrea Junmong Yim. Dorothy Yu, Chi Zhang, Xianyi Yang. Ziwei Ziang. Mr. Chancellor, these are the graduates of the Bachelor of Accounting and Financial Management.
Mr. Chancellor, these are the graduates of the Bachelor of Arts 3-year general program. Karen Lynn Anderson, Robert James Atkinson, Alicia Bendick. Carolyn Jane DeClute, Christine Laura Dubuet, Ashley Lane Eddy. Melanie Fearon, Melissa Goodwin, Samir Hamoud. Raymond Joseph Holganza, Si Yung Ip, Marco Jurishik. Mariam Khan, Jason Kim, Nathan Thomas Lackey. Sarah Diana Lariche, Xiaoying Yu, Leanne Major. Angela Marisik, Laura McCutcheon, Michael Patrick. Nicholas Robert Simon, Stephen James Sloan, Shirwan Kumar Sumaru. Helena Zumilas, Michael Tignanelli, Christina Toth. Kristen Westcott, Lorraine Lockling-Yoon. Mr. Chancellor, these are the graduates of the Bachelor of Arts General Program 4-year. Lena Abu Nassar, Rosalind Elizabeth Adams, Eleanor Anglin. Anam Ayub, Irina Adriana Barbu, Heather Marie Bender. Laura Bruce, Christopher Cangiano, Sriyashi Chakraborty. Justin Wing-Hei Chan, William Wah-Hin Chan, Adrian Chang. Yi Chen Chen, Michael Kamji Chu, Douglas Jacob Epp. Robert Daniel Fry, Lillian Seiyan Gill, Michelle Zhui Feng Hei. Courtney Adele Hectus, Andrew William Healy, Erica Henry. Philbert Chun-Yu Ho, Kevin Kawai Hu, Bijou Huang. Nabia Jamil Hussain, Nabil Ishtiaq, Hania Ishmael. Caitlin Christina Kaminsky, Melissa Suzanne Kresge, Kin Na Lam. Alexander Lee, Xiu Yan Lung, Yankee Liang. Brian Lowe, Seitan Mack, Alexandra Malcolmson. Patrick McGarry, Patricia Morera, Lindsay Nicole Munch. Laura Newton, Parminder Purba, Joelle Glorianne Ritzema. Katie Nicole Rove, Martin Shu, Sukhdeep Singh. Carrie Lee Smith, Sky Smith, Caitlin Stewart. Linking Sun, Evan Switzer, Nan Myron Tang. Alina Fatima Tharani, Ada Tsang, Johnson Chun Chak Si. Wayman Tung, Leslie Van den Enden, Shad Velji. Gabriel Claudio Venditti, Carly Warnock, Jason S. Wong. Samantha Wong, Samson Wong, Morgan Catherine Wood. Yuhang Wu, Madison Marie Yorth, Jeremy Yu. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor.
Mr. Chancellor, the graduates of the Bachelor of Arts Honors Program. Syed Adnan, Melissa Ann Alexander, Katrina Achta. Kirsten Lee Atanya, Saad Anwar, Lauren Chelsea Badiak. Brittany Jane Baker, Kelly Bankier, Ian Ray Barkars. Alexandra Jean Barnard, Evan Bell, Matthew Bello. Conrad Berlinguet, Angela Marie Bernard, Shannon Bingaman. Alicia Blanco, Nicole Kaylee Britton, Jesselyn Broadfoot. Luca Bucci, Christine Anastasia Bunker, Jelana Cabral. Courtney Campbell, Kenneth Cassidy, Fiona Chan. Jeffrey Chan, Yvonne Chan, Taj Kohan. Raquel Winhong Chong, Lisa Chow, Vinci Chiu. Sarah Justine Clark. Sarah is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Fine Arts. Louisa Maria Cornier, Brett William Cowan, Emmanuel Candace Cummings. Derek Joseph Kidvorik. Derek is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Drama. Philip Cutmore, Ashley Elizabeth Rose Dean, Ian Delves. Amelia Henrika Demick, Richard Diemsen Jones, Cecilia Gruzozic. Christy Dukovic, Caitlin Lucienne Ellis, Sean Airy. Yuan Yuan Fang, Caitlin Blair Featherston, Jonathan James Allen Fenn. Leanne Fonseca, Christina Foster, Megan Fowler. Joshua Matthew Fuller, Andrew Fung, Andrew David Stewart Garland, Christina Gonzala. Christina is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in French Studies. Stephanie Gill, Kate Gillis, Aaron Goodman. Laura Gordon, Emily Graham, Samantha May Grayson. Ketri Grise. Ketri is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in History. Rachel Joanne Grote, Marie Claire Gross, Ayaz Manzrali, Ghulam Hussain. Mei Yin Ha, Danielle Christina Hagen, Christine Heather Halbert. Ryan Harrington, Therese Harris, Julie Ann Hartman. David Hazlitt, Jeremy Preston Hawkins, Sarah Hinton. Amy Hoffler, Miriam Hollinger Jensen, Heather Elizabeth Hughes. Marjorie Irene Hopkins. Marjorie is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Medieval Studies. Catherine Hurley, Mohaz Hussein, Ifra Ismaili. Amy Lynn Jones, Stephanie Carla Jorgensen, Jenna Jutzi. Andrea Luba Kennedy, Linda Kong Ting, Jenna Kresler. Prabhumana Krishnan, Hui Yat Lam, Huok Wai Lau. Joseph Loria, Christopher Michael Lauzon, Shi Ying Lee. Monica Souza Lima, Daphne Liu, Carolina Londono. Jessica Guyi Lau, Robert John Lyle, Sarah Elizabeth Matner. Jelena Merrick, Kirsten Mary Veronica Barancic, Joanna McClintock. Robin McDonald, Mark McGinley, Janique Amy Melancon. Rachel Menka, Stephanie Milligan, Conrad Ernst Boring. Andrew Moore, Jacob Muirhead, Jeffrey William Nace. Lazio Nagy, Nicholas Richard Neal, Jocelyn Nirabuta. Danielle Owen, Derek Michael Page, Laura Peacock. Christopher Piamuller, Jennifer Phillip, Dylan Powell. Stephen Prentice, Brian Kwok, Alicia Ramji. Adrienne Elizabeth Kathleen Raw, Laura Robinson, Joanna Marie Robles. April Mary Ross. April is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Geography and Environmental Management. Brennan Roy, Charlie Rutin, Natalie Santa. Joanne Scott, Kristen Sangera, Stephanie Nicole Severin. Stephanie Shantz, Jonathan Chi Sing Shen, Leanne Samurd. Jennifer Smith. Jennifer is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Speech Communication. Kyle Skillman, Jessica Smith, Amber Southwick. Livia Stanka, Laura Jean Stevenson, Aaron Steeler. Nicole Rosalind Strong, Sarah Mitra Taslimi, Catherine Annegret Thompson. Evan Patrick Taylor. Evan is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Anthropology. Daniel Richard Thompson, Aaron Thompson, Laura Claire Thurston. Nicole Joan Ernestine Troutrim, Bernie Trin, Saw Toon. Stefan Vervinotius, V. Lin Vu, Joanna Wajda. Ryan Walsh, Kelly Ann Wills, Ashley Witt. Amanda Yao. Amanda is also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Economics. Emily Yao, Carrie Kar Y Yim. Mr. Chancellor, these are the Bachelor of Arts Honors Program.
Mr. Chancellor, I wish to present to you candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts. Sarah Aken Aga Kazem Jurabaf, Angela Ahadi, Takunbo Demilola Aro Miwura. Thea Christina Carter, Rachel Cripps, Kung Dong. Graham Douglas, Hirokazu Robert Dizono, Rola Hajar. Tara Hargrave, Christine Campen Robinson, Marcilda Caparani. Danielle Lapp, Justin Lee, Sean Lowe. Shane Martin, Gazelle Mematuli, Dean Merrick Brown. Jasmine Muller-German, Tianxiu Pei, Vivek Ramakrishnan. Marika Vatajic, Sayeda Sarah Rohani Tabatag Bay, Linda Swanston. Ishaben Thakur, Adam Willistecki, Zhan Wang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I wish to present to you candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Taxation. Hannah Viela Kopa, Ye Feng Chang, Jiang He. Cassandra Hemmings, Joseph Y. Kit Ngai, Kevin Tew. Shiri Trop, Dian Wang, Jing Xie. Nan Yang, Bingbing Zhang, Liron Zhang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I wish to present to you candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Shan Chen. Olga Gladkova. Darren Mark Henderson. Diane Catherine Jakaki. Diane Frances Lobb. Tatiana Reichert. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by Senate but who were unable to be present at today's convocation.
Mr. Chancellor, I now invite Andrea McKenzie to announce the name of the winner of the Alumni Gold Medal.
Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, alumni, parents, and family. Since 1957, nearly 153,000 individuals have graduated from the University of Waterloo. Today, the class of 2011 joins that great assembly as they cross the stage and make the transition from student to alumnus. Graduates, Your time as students may be ending, but I hope your connection to our university will last a lifetime. I urge you to explore the ongoing opportunities the university offers you to learn, to grow, and to contribute. In that spirit of connection, Waterloo's alumni are proud to recognize each year those undergraduate and graduate students who have achieved academic excellence, earning the highest average in their faculty. At Spring Convocation, we honor undergraduate students from each faculty, while students in master's and doctoral programs are recognized at Fall Convocation. To each of these exceptional students, we award the Alumni Gold Medal. This solid gold medal, engraved with the recipient's name and degree, as well as the university's insignia, symbolizes their outstanding efforts. Mr. Chancellor, as a 3-time graduate of the Faculty of Arts and a member of the Alumni Council, I am pleased to present to you the 2011 recipient of the Alumni Gold Medal for the Faculty of Arts. She graduated from Earl Haig Secondary School and graduates today with a Bachelor of Accounting and Financial Management. I am pleased to present Essence Ng.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe our newest graduating class, they deserve a round of applause. And graduates, I'm sure that many special bonds and friendships have been made over the years while you were studying here. So I will ask you to rise, please, and congratulate each other. You may be seated now. I like the group hug by the PhD recipients. It was good. Today we are celebrating our graduates in the Faculty of Arts. Innovation at the University of Waterloo is supported at its heart by a rich history of social sciences, humanities, and fine arts research that speaks directly to the greatest issues of our time. Art students and researchers tackle issues from economic collapse to international governance, the social impact of digital technologies, the cultural effects of globalization, political responses to climate change, and integrity in corporate accounting. A solid foundation of arts and social sciences builds the kind of understanding we need to see our way to a bright future for this country and for the world. Graduates, we hope that the feeling of fulfillment and achievement that you and your family are celebrating today are in close synchronization with the hopes and dreams that informed your choice to study at the University of Waterloo. By now, you may think that you have learned all there is to learn from us at the university. However, there are some final lessons I would like to leave with you today. First, take pride in this institution. In our short history, we have climbed to the ranks of the top 10 universities in Canada, and our global reputation has cracked the top 100 universities in the world. The University of Waterloo is consistently ranked first by reputation for innovation and for producing the leaders of tomorrow, the future makers. As I look around, as I look at our graduates today, what I see is the next generation of leadership. But the University of Waterloo's success, its reputation, and its goal to achieve a level of excellence comparable to the top universities in the world is entirely dependent on what you do with what you have learned here. So secondly, be proud of your achievements. This has been at many times a challenging, difficult journey for you, and today we are seeing the first fruits of your dedication. Our goal here has been to prepare you for what lies ahead, and you have been the most significant contributor to that goal. Throughout your own work, hard work, your dedication, and the building of lasting friendships, you will achieve that. As you leave here and begin the next chapter in your journey of discovery, recall the words of author and historian George Iles, who wrote, "Whoever ceases to be a student has never been a student." Remember that the competition and achievement of a degree is not the end, it's far from it. Education is a lifelong exercise. The creativity, the willingness to take risks, and the spirit of collaboration you have all demonstrated as students will serve you very well in the years to come as you continue to learn. And thirdly, and finally, know that we are so very proud of you. If I may speak on behalf of your professors for a moment, I will say that we take such pride in the successes and accomplishment of our students. I will also include our staff members to that statement, that they have watched over you for many, many years, and they supported you, again, all the way throughout your studies here. And allow me to welcome you to a growing alumni family of more than 151,000 around the world, and this number is growing. At Waterloo, we like to say we are connected. I encourage you to stay connected to the friends you have found here and to the institution that you have called home for the past few years. I will close with a quotation from Isaac Newton, and you may all be wondering, why is he giving us this physicist at the Arts Convocation? But you may all know that in addition to being a physicist, Isaac Newton was also a philosopher and a very deep thinker. Newton was not just a physicist, as I said, and in 1676, I have to think about it for a sec, he wrote to his rival, Robert Hooke, and he said, he was writing on the subject of innovation. He wrote, "If I have seen a little further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Ladies and gentlemen, our graduates are our giants. Giants who have elevated the University of Waterloo into the ranks of the world's top universities during the all too brief time they have spent here with us. And because of you, our university, your university, will achieve even greater successes in the years to come. It is our hope that when you look back on your time at the University of Waterloo, you can say proudly that your future started here. Thank you, and congratulations again.